Okay, it's Wednesday, October 19th. This is a SPY end of the day SPY recap. You can see here today we have a very minor day, a little two down day with a very neutral looking bar. And I think this sets up for tomorrow being kind of a moment of truth type of day. As it turns out, I'm still sticking with the scenario that we are moving up towards these highs back here into possibly the top of this megaphone. And a day like this with a possible false breakout to the downside sets that up even stronger should we head up tomorrow. So again, it's all going to be dependent upon starting above the midpoint of this bar essentially, and then having a pre-market area that breaks above where this high generally is. If we can get that move tomorrow, then we should target this initial high, and once we hit that, then we should be heading up to those highs. So if we can get price action leading us higher, this is just a failed move down. However, should we go down tomorrow below the midpoint of this bar, opening action down, we still could broaden out into this gap I was telling you about. If you look at this bar here, really this little tail is not that's just a bad tick. That's really the low of the bar where I'm showing it right here. So if we want to come down tomorrow, we could just take out that low to broaden out. And then it's Thursday. At that point, we'll see, with one day to go in the week, do we have a chance? Is there some kind of reversal that takes place? If not, like I said, this weekly bar might be failing, and closing lower near the end of the week. But we still have 2 days to go. Anything can happen with this bar, and we're still, in an upward trend so far. So what's interesting today, just going back, I set up a midday video where I did see the failure happening right in this area to head lower, and we immediately, broke down pretty far. But from after that first move down, price just stopped and then consolidated the rest of the way and came right back up to the breakout point. So it really didn't follow through into this gap at the moment. But if it stays here, it certainly can tomorrow. And if it doesn't, you can still feel that this is a very choppy way to kind of work our way up here. So it's very logical in some cases where you have an uptrend and you kind of broaden out lower a little bit first, like below these bars here. So in other words, you get higher highs here and lower lows here in the short run, and then you continue back up with the broadening action that aligns with the bigger picture broadening action to the upside. So even, given that we didn't follow through much, and given that we kind of closed kind of strong up here, it leads me to believe we might be getting a really nice buy signal tomorrow. But I'm not going to predict it, as always. That's the beauty. You don't have to. You just kind of see where price action leads you. In terms of today, just again, I do see that it was a possible buy right here on bar number 3, kind of the failure to move down below the pre-market area and below the range that I identified. You had the big green bar. Always when you get that green bar and a red to green move, your first target is the intraday high of the day. So we did take that out. And then at that point, then you start thinking about moving to the top of the range, the other targets. In this case, it was the top of the range. It never got there. But you just watch this normal pullback right in here. But it was right in here where we came a little bit too far low, had the, hammer into a shooter bar that you kind of sensed that this move was now going to really test these lows instead of the highs. So it was kind of easy to go short here. And then, you could easily have had a no risk type of trade in some form. It just never followed through completely. So it kind of sets us up for tomorrow to possibly break out now to the upside. And of course, it could break to the downside too. I can't predict it, but I know that we're setting up kind of failures on both sides. We failed to go down, so that could be exciting to go up. And on some level, the weekly chart is failing to go up, so that could end up exciting to go down. But you don't really have to, predict it, or that's not important in terms of taking advantage of whatever happens. It's going to be price action that leads the way. So this very neutral bar here and this overall tough environment that we've been talking about all week since this reversal bar took place, grinding higher, this falls in line with a lot of tricky trading as the market comes down but keeps finding buyers down here and eventually wants to move up. So let's see if that scenario continues tomorrow. I think, I don't hope or whatever. I think could be a kind of a key day in this week in terms of really having some good movement. But as always, you never know. So let's just see, how price kind of sets up a pre-market range tomorrow and how the opening price moves relative to this range right here.